A startling discovery. In the depths of a secret research facility hidden beneath the windswept dunes of the Atacama Desert, Dr. Lina Vasquez hunched over her workstation, her eyes locked on the streams of data cascading across her screens. As one of Earth's preeminent astrophysicists, Lina had dedicated her career to unraveling the mysteries of the cosmos, but the readings before her now threatened to upend everything she thought she understood. The anomalies had first appeared 3 months ago, subtle fluctuations in the quantum background noise that permeated the universe. Most dismissed them as sensor ghosts, but Lina had a hunch there was more to the story. She'd written a new algorithm to analyze the data, and now, as the results flickered across her display, her heart raced at the implications. "This can't be right," she muttered, double-checking the figures. But there was no mistake. The quantum signatures were too regular, too precise to be natural phenomena. Lina's mind reeled at the only possible explanation. Someone, or something, was watching Earth from the depths of space. She rose from her chair, her footsteps echoing through the empty lab as she paced, grappling with the magnitude of her discovery. If she was right, it meant humanity was not alone in the universe, and worse, their cosmic neighbors were spying on them. Lina knew she needed to bring this to her superiors immediately. Within hours, Lina found herself standing before a hastily convened council of Earth's leaders, military generals, senior scientists, and top government officials from every major nation. She took a steadying breath as she called up her findings on the large holoprojector. "As you can see," she began, pointing to the dancing quantum waveforms, "these signatures are unlike anything we've seen before. Their regularity and precision strongly suggest artificial origins. Based on the data, I believe we are looking at evidence of a network of concealed observation posts, strategically placed to monitor Earth and our activities in the solar system." A heavy silence fell over the room as the implications sank in. General Arvind Singh, a veteran commander with a shock of silver hair and a perpetual frown etched into his weathered face, was the first to speak. "Dr. Vasquez, are you telling us that we are under alien surveillance? That extraterrestrial intelligence is actively spying on humanity?" Lina met his gaze unflinchingly. "Yes, General. That is exactly what the data suggests." A murmur rippled through the assembled leaders, a mix of shock, disbelief, and mounting alarm. Madam Secretary Noor Rashid, the UN's top diplomat, turned to Lina with a grave expression. "If this is true, Dr. Vasquez, it represents a crisis of unparalleled proportions. How do we proceed in the face of such a revelation?" Lina paused, the weight of her next words settling on her shoulders. She knew what she was about to propose was audacious, perhaps even reckless, but the stakes were too high for half measures. "We've been handed an incredible opportunity," she said at last. "Yes, the idea that we are being watched is deeply unsettling, but think about what it means. Whoever is behind this surveillance network, they've gone to great lengths to remain hidden. They're observing us passively, which suggests a certain caution, even trepidation, about engaging with us directly." She let her words hang in the air for a moment before continuing. "I believe we can use that caution to our advantage. If we can find a way to slip out from under their watchful eye, to disappear from their sensors entirely, we could force their hand, compel them to break their silence and approach us openly." General Singh leaned forward, his eyes narrowing. "What exactly are you suggesting, Doctor?" His slow smile spread across Lina's face. "I'm suggesting we beat them at their own game. That we turn the tables and use stealth and subterfuge to level the playing field. I'm suggesting we make the entire Earth go dark." As the room erupted into a cacophony of questions and objections, Lina held up a hand for silence. She knew her plan was daring, perhaps even foolhardy, but as she looked around at the faces of Earth's guardians, leaders entrusted with the fate of billions, she saw something kindling in their eyes. It was a glimmer of hope, the first spark of a fire that, if carefully tended, could blaze a path to a future where humanity met the cosmos on its own terms. And in that moment, Lina knew her journey was just beginning. The road ahead would be fraught with peril and uncertainty, but she felt an unshakable conviction that this was a turning point for her species. The human race was about to take the greatest gamble in its history, and everything hung in the balance. Whatever happened next, Lena vowed to herself she would not rest until Earth's place among the stars was secure. No matter the cost, no matter the sacrifice, she would see this through to the end. For in this game of cosmic strategy, there could be no half victories. It was win or perish, and Lena had no intention of losing. Operation Cosmic Curtain. In the wake of Dr. Lena Vasquez's startling revelation, Earth's leaders wasted no time in mobilizing a response. Under the utmost secrecy, Project Nightfall was born, a global initiative to develop and deploy the quantum stealth technology that would allow humanity to vanish from the prying eyes of their alien watchers. Lena found herself at the center of a whirlwind of activity as scientists, engineers, and military strategists from across the planet converged on the Atacama Research Facility. The once quiet labs buzzed with a palpable energy as brilliant minds worked round the clock, pushing the boundaries of human knowledge and ingenuity. At the heart of Project Nightfall was a breakthrough in quantum field manipulation, a way to weave an invisibility cloak around the Earth and its colonies, shielding them from even the most advanced sensors. Lena and her team labored tirelessly, refining the algorithms, streamlining the deployment protocols, and running countless simulations to ensure their stealth net would hold up under the unblinking gaze of the cosmos. As the weeks turned into months, the tension mounted. Every day brought new challenges, new setbacks, but Lena refused to let the pressure crush her. She knew the stakes were too high for doubt or hesitation. The survival of her species might well depend on the success of their audacious plan. At last, after countless sleepless nights and moments of breathtaking innovation, Project Nightfall was ready. Lena stood before the assembled leaders once more, her exhaustion tempered by a fierce pride in what her team had accomplished. "We've done it," she declared, her voice ringing with conviction. "The quantum stealth net is operational. We can cloak every human settlement, every outpost and facility, in a veil of impenetrable darkness. To our watchers, it will seem as if the Earth has simply winked out of existence." General Singh, his face lined with the weight of the decisions to come, fixed Lena with a piercing stare. "And you're certain this will work, Dr. Vasquez? If we commit to this course of action, there can be no room for error." Lena met his gaze unflinchingly. "I stake my reputation, my life, on it, General. The science is sound. The technology is ready. All that remains is to give the order." A heavy silence settled over the room as the enormity of the moment sank in. They stood on the precipice of history, the fate of humanity balanced on a razor's edge. One word, one command, would set in motion a chain of events that could reshape the very fabric of the galaxy. Madam Secretary Rashid was the first to speak, her voice low but resolute. "We've come too far to turn back now. If this is our chance to secure Earth's future, to meet the unknown on our own terms, then we must seize it. I vote to proceed with Operation Cosmic Curtain." One by one, the other leaders voiced their assent. Some spoke with the firm conviction, others with trepidation, but all understood the gravity of the choice they were making. As the last vote was cast, an electric thrill coursed through the room. The decision was made. The die was cast. General Singh turned to Lena, his expression grim but determined. "Dr. Vasquez, you have a go. Initiate the stealth protocols. Let's show our watchers what happens when they underestimate the ingenuity and resolve of the human race." Lena nodded, her heart pounding as she reached for her comm unit. This was the moment of truth, the point of no return. With a deep breath, she gave the command that would change the course of history. "All stations, this is Dr. Vasquez. Commence Operation Cosmic Curtain. Repeat, commence Operation Cosmic Curtain. Make us invisible." Across the Earth and throughout the solar system, quantum stealth generators hummed to life, weaving an intricate web of darkened spacetime. In an instant, Humanity vanished from the cosmic stage, cloaked in a shadow of its own making. As the invisibility field settled into place, Lena felt a surge of exhilaration tempered by an icy thread of fear. They had done the impossible, achieved a feat of techno-sorcery that would be the envy of any advanced civilization. But as the Earth faded from the alien sensors, Lena knew their greatest trial was yet to come. For in the silent darkness of their self-imposed isolation, humanity would face the true test of its mettle. They had dared to defy the ancient order of the cosmos, to challenge the watchful eyes that had held sway for eons. Now, they must steel themselves for the response their audacity would surely provoke. Lena gazed at the screens before her, now dark and lifeless, and felt the weight of her species' future settling on her shoulders. Whatever came next, she knew one thing with a bone-deep certainty: Earth would never be the same again. The game was afoot, and the stakes could not be higher. The Galactic Council convenes. In the grand halls of the Celestial Citadel, an ancient space station orbiting a dying star at the heart of the galaxy, the representatives of 1,000 spacefaring civilizations gathered in solemn conclave. For millennia, the Galactic Council had stood as a bastion of stability and order, guiding the younger races along the path to enlightenment and ensuring the delicate balance of power remained unbroken. But now, as the counselors took their seats beneath the shimmering auroras of the Grand Chamber's holographic dome, an unfamiliar sensation rippled through the assembly, a prickle of uncertainty, of mounting unease. For the first time in living memory, the Council faced a situation that defied its collective wisdom and threatened to upend the very foundations of the galactic order. At the center of the chamber, hovering above the raised dais, a holographic projection burst into life, displaying the blue-green orb of Earth in all its fragile beauty. Whispers rustled through the gathered dignitaries as they beheld the source of their consternation. A world that, until mere days ago, had been just another primitive backwater, a young civilization like countless others, scarcely worth a second glance. But then, in a feat of techno-wizardry that had sent shockwaves throughout the galaxy, Earth had simply vanished. One moment it had been there, its teeming billions going about their lives under the watchful gaze of the Council's hidden observers. The next, it was gone, cloaked in a veil of impenetrable darkness that defied all attempts to pierce its secrets. As the projection zoomed out to reveal the network of now blind observation posts scattered throughout Earth's solar system, the implications of humanity's disappearance became starkly apparent. The youngest species, the ones the Council had long dismissed as unimportant and beneath notice, had somehow developed a stealth capability far beyond anything the galactic community had ever seen. The chamber erupted into a cacophony of debate as the counselors grappled with the ramifications of Earth's sudden technological leap. Some argued for caution, insisting that humanity's apparent advancement changed nothing, that the Council's policy of non-interference and passive observation should remain sacrosanct. Others, their voices tinged with a hint of fear, demanded immediate action. Earth's disappearance, they contended, represented an existential threat to the galactic order. If a primitive species could so easily blind the Council's eyes, what other surprises might they have in store? As the debate raged on, one voice rose above the din, a voice that commanded instant respect and attention. It belonged to Zora Taknur, the exalted emissary of the Kadrox Imperium, the oldest and mightiest of the Council's member civilizations. Esteemed colleagues, Zora began, her resonant tones echoing through the suddenly hushed chamber. The situation we face is unprecedented, but we must not allow ourselves to be ruled by fear or hasty judgment. The humans have demonstrated a level of ingenuity and daring that demands our respect, but we cannot assume their intentions are hostile. She paused, her amber eyes sweeping over the assembled counselors. I propose a middle path. Let us dispatch a fleet of our most advanced reconnaissance vessels to Earth's system, not to intervene or intrude, but to observe and gather intelligence. We must learn more about the humans, and their capabilities before we can hope to formulate a coherent response. A murmur of assent rippled through the chamber as the wisdom of Zora's words sank in. The Kadroks were known for their measured approach, their ability to navigate even the most treacherous diplomatic waters with grace and foresight. If Zora counseled caution and restraint, the other counselors were inclined to heed her advice. And so, with a solemn vote, the council dispatched a swift fleet of stealthed recon ships, each one bristling with the most sophisticated sensors and AIs the galaxy had to offer. As the sleek vessels slipped into the void, the eyes of 1,000 worlds followed in their wake, breathless with anticipation and the knowledge that the next few days might well shape the course of galactic history. Back on Earth, Dr. Lina Vasquez and her team watched the unfolding drama with a mixture of exhilaration and trepidation. Thanks to their quantum entanglement communication network, they had a front-row seat to the Council's deliberations, courtesy of the stealth human ships now shadowing the alien fleet. As the recon vessels entered Earth's system, Lina felt her heart pounding in her chest. This was the moment of truth, the ultimate test of their stealth technology. If the Council's ships could penetrate their cloak, all their efforts would be for naught, and Earth would stand exposed and vulnerable before the judgment of the cosmos. But as the alien fleet swept past the hidden human outposts, their sensors probing and searching in vain, a jolt of elation surged through Lina's veins. The stealth field was holding. The Council's most advanced technology was no match for the cunning of the human mind. And yet, even as she savored this moment of triumph, Lina knew it was only the beginning. The real challenge lay ahead, in the diplomatic dance that must surely follow. Earth had proven it could hide from the prying eyes of the galaxy, but sooner or later it would have to step out of the shadows and face the consequences of its boldness. As she watched the alien ships retreating, their mission thwarted, Lina steeled herself for the trials to come. The road ahead would be long and fraught with peril, but she knew in her bones that humanity was ready. They had taken their first step onto the galactic stage, and there could be no turning back now. The game had entered its next phase, and Earth held the winning hand. All that remained was to play it with skill, courage, and unwavering resolve. And Lina Vasquez, the architect of humanity's greatest gambit, was determined to see it through to the end. Earth springs the trap. As the Galactic Council's recon fleet slipped into Earth's solar system, their sensors straining to pierce the veil of darkness that shrouded the human world, a palpable sense of tension gripped the crew. These were the most advanced ships in the galaxy, manned by the finest minds the Council could muster, and yet, as they probed and searched in vain, a growing unease began to take hold. For all their sophistication, for all their vaunted technology, the alien vessels found themselves stymied at every turn. The stealth field that enveloped Earth and its colonies was unlike anything they had ever encountered, a web of quantum trickery so fiendishly complex that it defied all attempts at analysis. As the ships pressed deeper into the system, their frustration mounting with each failed scan, a sudden flurry of activity erupted on their sensor screens. Out of the void, as if conjured from the very fabric of space-time itself, a fleet of human vessels shimmered into existence, their sleek hulls bristling with weaponry of unknown design. On the bridge of the lead council ship, Captain Zoran Talker stared in disbelief at the tactical display, his normally unflappable composure shaken by the sudden appearance of the human fleet. In an instant, the balance of power had shifted, the hunters becoming the hunted as the Earth ships moved to surround their alien counterparts in a daring display of strategic maneuvering. "Impossible," Zoran muttered, his eyes narrowing as he studied the readouts. How did they manage to hide their approach so completely? Our sensors should have detected them light years away. Beside him, his first officer, a lithe, silver-scaled Arctian named Lyra, shook her head in wonderment. "It seems we have underestimated the humans, Captain. Their stealth technology is far beyond anything we have seen before. We are completely outmatched." As if in response to Lyra's words, the comm system crackled to life, a human voice filling the bridge with its quiet, steely resolve. "Attention, Galactic Council vessels. This is Admiral Niko Petrov of the Earth Defense Fleet. You have entered our sovereign space without permission, and your intentions remain unclear. Stand down and prepare to be escorted to a neutral location for diplomatic talks. Any attempt at resistance will be met with swift and decisive action. Zoran's mind raced as he weighed his options. To fight was madness. The human fleet outnumbered them 3-1, and their technological edge was now painfully apparent. But to surrender was to admit defeat, to concede that the Council had been outplayed by a species they had long dismissed as primitive and beneath notice. In the end, it was the memory of Zora Taknir's words that tipped the balance. The exalted emissary had counseled caution and restraint, and Zoran knew that to act rashly now could jeopardize the delicate web of alliances and treaties that held the galactic order together. With a heavy sigh, he signaled his compliance, watching in silence as the human ships took up escort positions around the Council fleet. As they began the long journey to the neutral meeting ground, Zoran couldn't shake the feeling that he was witnessing the dawn of a new era, one in which the old certainties of galactic power would be forever upended. Back on Earth, the mood was one of jubilation tempered by a sober recognition of the challenges ahead. In a secure bunker deep beneath the Atacama Desert, Dr. Lina Vasquez and her team monitored the unfolding events with a mix of elation and grim determination. They had done it. The stealth field had held, and the human fleet had executed their ambush to perfection. But as the initial euphoria faded, Lina knew that the real work was just beginning. The Council would not take this humiliation lightly, and Earth would need all its cunning and resolve to navigate the treacherous waters of galactic diplomacy. As she watched the alien ships receding into the distance, Lina felt a weight settling on her shoulders. She had set this chain of events in motion, and now it fell to her to see it through to its conclusion. The fate of her species, perhaps of the entire galaxy, hung in the balance, and she would not, let them down. Turning to her team, Lina squared her shoulders, a steely glint in her eye. "All right, people, listen up. We've won the first round, but the game is far from over. We need to be ready for whatever comes next. Diplomatic overtures, covert probes, maybe even outright aggression. I want every department working round the clock to analyze the Council's response and develop contingency plans for every possible scenario." As her words sank in, Lina saw the determination etched on every face, the unwavering resolve that had carried them this far. They were a team, forged in the crucible of the greatest challenge humanity had ever faced, and they would not rest until Earth's place among the stars was secure. With a final nod, Lina turned back to the monitors, her gaze fixed on the vast expanse of space that now lay open before them. The universe had taken notice of humanity's audacity, and the reverberations of their gambit would be felt for generations to come. But for now, there was work to be done, alliances to forge, strategies to devise, and a brave new future to shape. And Lina Vasquez, the woman who had dared to challenge the very order of the cosmos, was ready to meet that future head-on, come what may. Part 5. A New Galactic Era. The Neutral Meeting Ground. A small barren moon orbiting a gas giant on the fringes of Earth's solar system seemed an unlikely setting for an event that would reshape the course of galactic history. And yet, as the sleek ships of the Galactic Council and the Earth Defense Fleet settled onto the dusty surface, the tension in the air was palpable, the sense of momentous change hanging thick and heavy. In a hastily erected conference dome, bathed in the eerie glow of the gas giant's swirling clouds, the representatives of two civilizations faced each other across a gleaming table, their expressions guarded, their eyes alight with a mix of curiosity, trepidation, and grudging respect. On one side sat the delegates of the Galactic Council, led by the imposing figure of Zora Taknir, the exalted emissary of the Kadrox Imperium. Clad in shimmering robes of deep purple, her amber eyes sharp and assessing, Zora radiated an aura of ancient wisdom and immense power, tempered by a keen intelligence and a diplomat's instinct for subtlety. Opposite her, the human delegation presented a picture of quiet confidence and steely resolve. At their head was Dr. Lina Vasquez, the brilliant astrophysicist whose daring gambit had brought them to this moment. Flanked by Admiral Niko Petrov and a cadre of Earth's brightest minds, Lina met Zora's gaze with unwavering determination, a small enigmatic smile playing at the corners of her lips. For a long moment, silence reigned, the weight of unspoken questions and unresolved tensions hanging heavy in the air. Then, with a graceful inclination of her head, Zora spoke, her voice rich and resonant. "Dr. Vasquez, on behalf of the Galactic Council, I must begin by expressing our admiration for the ingenuity and boldness your people have displayed. In all the long centuries of our stewardship, we have rarely encountered a species so adept at upsetting the established order." Lina inclined her head in acknowledgement, her smile widening fractionally. "Emissary Taknur, I thank you for your kind words. But I must also express our own surprise and concern at the extent of the Council's surveillance of our world. We had no idea we were being watched so closely, and it raises uncomfortable questions about the nature of your interest in our affairs." Zora held up a slender hand, her expression conciliatory. "I understand your unease, Dr. Vasquez, and I do not seek to minimize it. The Council's policy of observation and non-interference has been in place for eons, and it is not a decision we take lightly. But I assure you, our intent is not malicious. We seek only to guide and protect the younger races, to ensure that the mistakes of the past are not repeated." Lina leaned forward, her eyes narrowing slightly. "And what mistakes might those be, emissary? What dark secrets lurk in the Council's past that would warrant such an extensive network of surveillance and control?" A flicker of something, pain, perhaps, or ancient sorrow, flashed across Zora's face, gone as quickly as it had appeared. "The history of the galaxy is long and fraught, Dr. Vasquez. Suffice it to say that we have learned, through bitter experience, the dangers of unchecked power and unbridled ambition. The Council exists to maintain the delicate balance that allows all species to thrive and evolve at their own pace, free from the threat of annihilation or subjugation." Lina nodded slowly, her expression thoughtful. "I see. And yet, by maintaining such tight control, do you not risk stifling the very growth and innovation you claim to promote? How can a species truly evolve if it is forever held in check, its potential forever limited by the watchful gaze of unseen guardians?" Zora smiled, a hint of genuine warmth creeping into her voice. "You raise a fair point, Dr. Vasquez, and it is one the Council has grappled with for centuries. But I would argue that our approach has allowed for a diversity and richness of life that would not have been possible otherwise. And as your own people have so eloquently demonstrated, true innovation and progress cannot be suppressed forever." Lina returned the smile, a glint of mischief in her eye. "On that, emissary, we can agree. But I would also argue that the time has come for a new approach, one that recognizes the potential of younger races to contribute to the greater galactic community, to take their rightful place among the stars." Zora inclined her head, her expression one of thoughtful consideration. "And what would you propose, Dr. Vasquez? How would you see Earth and the Council moving forward from this moment?" Lina took a deep breath, the weight of her next words settling on her shoulders like a mantle of destiny. "I propose a new era of cooperation and partnership, emissary. One in which Earth and the Council work together as equals, sharing knowledge and resources, exploring the vast wonders of the cosmos side by side. We have much to learn from each other, and much to gain from a true alliance of equals." For a long moment, Zora was silent, her amber eyes searching Lina's face as if seeking to read the very depths of her soul. Then, slowly, a smile spread across her face, warm and genuine, and she extended a slender hand across the table. "Dr. Vasquez, on behalf of the Galactic Council, I accept your proposal. Let this be the dawn of a new era, one of friendship, of shared discovery, and of boundless possibility." Together, we will write the next chapter of galactic history, and it will be a tale for the ages. As Lena reached out to clasp Zora's hand, a thrill of excitement and trepidation coursed through her veins. She knew that the road ahead would not be easy, that there would be challenges and obstacles at every turn. But she also knew that humanity was ready, ready to take its place among the stars, ready to embrace its destiny as a true partner in the great dance of the cosmos. And as the representatives of two civilizations, once separated by a gulf of ignorance and fear, now united in common cause, sealed their new alliance with a firm handshake, the very fabric of the universe seemed to tremble with the weight of possibility. A new era had dawned, and the galaxy would never be the same. As the news of the historic agreement spread like wildfire across the stars, the people of Earth and the countless worlds of the Galactic Council rejoiced in the promise of a brighter future. In the days and weeks that followed, a flurry of activity erupted on both sides, as diplomats and scientists, scholars and adventurers raced to forge the bonds of friendship and cooperation that would sustain the new alliance. On Earth, Dr. Lena Vasquez found herself at the center of a whirlwind of change and excitement. Hailed as a hero by her people, she threw herself into the work of building bridges between humanity and the wider galaxy, her brilliant mind and indomitable spirit guiding the way. Under her leadership, Earth became a hub of innovation and discovery, a beacon of hope and inspiration for all who dreamed of a better tomorrow. Human scientists and engineers worked side by side with their alien counterparts, pushing the boundaries of knowledge and technology, while intrepid explorers ventured forth into the vast reaches of space, eager to unravel the mysteries of the cosmos. And as the years turned into decades and decades into centuries, the alliance between Earth and the Galactic Council only grew stronger and deeper. Guided by the wisdom of Zora Taknur and the boundless vision of Lena Vasquez, the two civilizations marched forward together, their shared destiny a shining light in the darkness of the void. Through triumph and tragedy, through war and peace, through the countless challenges and wonders that the universe saw fit to place in their path, the people of Earth and the Council stood tall and proud, united in their determination to build a future worthy of the sacrifices and dreams of all who had come before. And so, as the tale of the galaxy's greatest gambit passed into legend, as children on 1,000 worlds grew up hearing the stories of Lena Vasquez and her daring band of heroes, the true legacy of Earth's ascension took root in the hearts and minds of all who called the stars their home. It was a legacy of hope and unity, of courage and compassion, of the unbreakable spirit of a species that had dared to reach beyond its grasp, and in so doing, had changed the very course of history. And though the path ahead was long and uncertain, though the challenges they faced were great and many, the people of Earth and the Galactic Council knew that, together, they could face anything the universe saw fit to throw their way. For they had each other, and they had the stars, and in the end, that was all they needed to build a future that would shine bright for all eternity. And so, with hearts full of hope and eyes fixed on the distant horizon, they stepped forward into the unknown, ready to embrace the great adventure that awaited them all. Thus ends the tale of Earth's gambit, and thus begins the story of a galactic alliance that would change the face of the universe forever. It is a story that will be told and retold, a story that will inspire and uplift, a story that will endure long after its heroes have passed into the realm of memory and myth. And though the path ahead was shrouded in mystery and uncertainty, one thing was clear: with Lena Vasquez and the Galactic Council at the helm, the future was bright, and the possibilities were endless. For they had dared to dream the impossible dream, and in so doing, they had set the stage for an era of wonders beyond imagining. And that, dear reader, is a legacy worth fighting for, now and forever, to the very ends of the universe and beyond.